Hello. 안녕하세요. Lee Jong-hyuk here. No, okay. So you guys probably should know what country is here today. But again, for those who are here as a newcomer, welcome to Crosstalk. My name is Jay.
My name is Till.
Yep, and we are from InterCulturalEducation. Yes. So of course, the main purpose of having a crosstalk today is really we want to know more about different countries. So even though the coronavirus is a very bad situation, people cannot travel, but still we are able to learn about the world through interaction, face-to-face interaction, and that's what we want to do.
Face-to-face is a little bit metaphorical, maybe.
Screen to screen.
Yeah, that's
better, right? Yeah.
I mean, usually in ICE, we love face-to-face interaction, but just for this coronavirus crisis, we decide to do screen-to-screen. And it's also an interesting global topic. It affects people and countries differently. Everywhere and around the world, you have slightly different policies, different attitudes, different opinions about the governments, different effectiveness. And right now, it's raging in the United States. We've already talked to people from France and Italy, but Korea is a very interesting country because, it's been in the news for a variety of reasons. Some of it was because of a certain outbreak in a certain church community, but it's also in the news for effective handling. So a lot of Western governments are actually praising Korea for doing well in this crisis. And we are very lucky that we're actually joined by two ladies from Korea. One of them actually in Hong Kong right now, one of them in Korea, and they both can share a little bit their perspectives. Shall we welcome them?
Right, so let's welcome them. Give your virtual claps if you're at home. Okay, before I switch to them, I just want to remind everyone in front that we can see that. Okay, we got to remind everyone that if you have any questions about Korea, about the coronavirus situation, please feel free to speak in the live chat. Okay, so I can ask them the questions live. Okay, so we have first of all, let's welcome Kyungju. Okay, I hope I didn't pronounce your name wrongly. Okay, but maybe can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Jay, you've known me for 3 years and you still don't know how to pronounce my name.
Kyungju.
Alright, hi everyone, my name is Kyungju and Kim. So it's not too hard, it's Kyungju and Kim. You can call me GJ. And I'm from Korea, but I've lived in different countries like Brunei, Malaysia, Cambodia. And now I go to university in Hong Kong. And I'm very honored and happy to be sharing a little bit of my story here today.
Yes, and as I know it, you are in Korea. Hong Kong. Hong Kong. Actually, right now, right?
Yeah, I was in Korea about 3 weeks ago, but I left Korea 3 weeks ago and came to Hong Kong, and I had to go through a 2-week quarantine as required by the government, and I will share more about it later too.
Yes, exactly. Okay, thank you. So that's GJ or Gyeongju. All right, and then we also have Christy. Christy is right now in Korea, right? So hi, Christy.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah. My name is Christy, and my Korean name is Kangin. They can just call me Christy. And like Gyeongju, I've stayed in several countries, such as like U.S., like Hong Kong, Canada, and I'm really also happy to share my experience during the period of this pandemic. And I stayed in Hong Kong till like late January, but then I returned to Korea and I couldn't return to Hong Kong after that, so I'm currently still in Korea right now.
So both of you are actually studying in Hong Kong, right?
Yes, we are.
I have to differentiate between Hong Kong and Korea. Both they both have K inside.
Are you okay, Jay?
I'm okay. Okay, I probably I need to cut back on all the food that I have. But okay, anyway, so for Christy, right, I have a question for you right off the bat, since you're right in South Korea now. Seoul, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit more about the situation right now? I mean, since January when you're back until now, How are the things like in Korea?
Like late January, it was okay like till January actually, but then in February, you know, the woman from church, is called 31st patient. She like after she got like the symptoms and then like diagnosed from the doctor, she went like all over the city called and then it affected like many other like thousands of other people. So the patients actually like grew significantly from that day. So the patients were like 50-ish, but then after that woman spread all around like the city, it became like 200, like 500, like 700, and to like 900. So like everyone was panicked, and then it was kind of like that the government didn't stay a lockdown, but then everyone was like locked down. Like they stayed in their homes, and like especially Taipei, it was really hard for the citizens there. So they really stayed at home, and like many kind of private stores, they had a really bad effect on their like household incomes because they couldn't still like sell their stuff. So but then after it reached the peak, it eventually got better because everyone, like the government, kind of exposed kind of the people's routes, like the patient routes where they went and then like where they visited, so that people can like avoid those places. And yeah, so the patients gradually became less, and so it became like 200 and 100 like till 2 weeks ago, and then it's like 30-ish right now. So I think many people are going out now, like into the country in Seoul, like actually, yeah.
So people are starting to finally
Mm-hmm.
take a break, get out, and
Yeah.
so would you say that the social distancing practices right being a bit more relaxed now?
I guess because till like early March, it reached the peak in early March. So many people didn't come out, and even if they had to come out, they always wore masks. But then people are hanging out right now with their masks. So yeah.
Oh, okay, so that is
yeah.
still very well protected.
Okay, I have a question because Jay was asking like social distancing was more relaxed, but we've talked to people from France and Italy with crazy strict rules, right? Where you cannot leave the house until you have a written piece of paper. The police is checking
Wow.
on it. Was it that bad? Like at the most strict times, what was it like? Like, could you go outside, and if so, for what reasons?
Yes, the lockdown, it wasn't stated by the government, so it wasn't banned by the government for the people to go out actually. So yeah, we could go out, and they were reluctant to go out because of the virus, and it was like really serious. So yes, it wasn't a lockdown, so people could go out, but then I couldn't see much people in the street till like early March, but then it got better. Like I saw like gradually like many more people like starting from mid-March, and then when I went to cafe, it was like several days ago. Like the cafe, like Starbucks, was full of people. But then, yeah, there were people who weren't wearing masks, or like some of them were wearing masks. So yeah.
Interesting.
okay.
So as I understand it, it's like not as extreme as let's say France, Italy, but a bit more than Hong Kong.
Yes, I think so because Hong Kong, it has been like had gotten like 20-ish patients per day. It didn't increase nor decrease.
I think it's going down now as of like mid-April, right? We're having like, I think a few days in a row under 30 new cases each day. But we are in total over 1,000. So it's still kind of like peaking in the second wave, I would guess.
Yeah, but maybe I mean, Christy probably yes, we have prepared some photos to show us like how the Korea looks like just today, right, or just yesterday.
Okay, let's have a look at this. Can you try and share?
Sure, sure.
So yeah, Christy will try to share the screen so to let us see what is it like in Korea now.
Let's have a look. It will take a few seconds. So, and this is very recent, right? This is from a few days ago, correct?
Yeah, I think she took the photos like yesterday.
Yesterday. Wow. Okay. Let's see.
So we take some time to get into the sharing.
Sorry guys, my camera suddenly turned off. I'll try to access Google Doc.
So meantime, while Christy is presenting, preparing to present, if you are watching us on YouTube, please
In
feel
fact,
free to.
one person, hello mom. One person
it's
already
a
has a
mom.
question. Oh God.
On YouTube, a mom. Okay. So, should we ask the question now?
I don't understand it.
Sorry, is it about me? I'm so sorry if it's my friend, probably.
No, it's his mom.
It's my mother, but I don't
Yeah.
quite understand
Okay.
the question. So please try again.
Oh, okay, I
Do you
understand.
understand?
Yes,
Oh my God.
I do.
Jay understands my mom better than her
I
only
understand
son.
too. Yes. So probably because maybe will be for okay, Christy, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, we will answer that later then.
Okay, then
Yes.
maybe you can see if you can share the screen. Okay. So let's have a look.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so these are the pictures I took starting from end of February.
Okay. Sorry, Christy. Can you go full screen so it's a bit easier to see?
Oh, sure. Yes.
Or maybe just press present in the Google Slides. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
so
Okay. Yeah.
okay, so the first picture is when I went to Samcheongdong and I met my friend there, and then we just ate dinner and then like went to cafes and stuff. But then there still were actually people, but they were all wearing masks. So it was kind of okay to maybe not okay, but then like it was okay like because we kept social distancing like for like at least like 5 meters. But then in the street, there were like usually full of people like in the street, but then like it was like 6 p.m. on that day, but then there was like nobody except for the man over there. And then you can see like on the right, the government like they put those like precaution like the flagships and like how people can prevent the virus from like being infected. So yeah, this is in late February.
And it's in both languages, right? English and
Yes.
Korean.
So it's only in English actually.
Oh.
Yeah, it's only in English. Yeah, so it says like the first thing is wash your hands, and second thing is wear a face mask, and the third thing is like cover with your sleeve when you're coughing or like sneezing. So, and when you have those symptoms, like you have to call like 1339, the numbers you see at the bottom. That's the call center that you can call like when you have symptoms, so they can like they can do checking whether you have the virus or not. Yeah, so those are the things you can see. And when on the same day, I visited Hotak store. Hotak is like a Korean traditional dessert place, like dessert. So this place was old, like renowned for hotaks, and the old lady who was selling it. She was like just like sitting there, and then we were the first customers. I think we were the first customers on that day. So she was like really glad to see us. And then, like when we were like eating, like she was like, "Oh, like I can't like these days like after the virus, I can't like sell any hot dogs to like the customers. Like nobody comes to my like stores." And yeah, she seemed like really depressed like on that day. So yeah, we were like, yeah. So we can see that like I saw that many stores there they have like no people coming in since the virus, like the pandemic. So it was kind of sad to see. And okay, so I visited a mountain like 2 weeks ago, and then that's the bird like in Korea. I was just hiking and took a picture. It's cute, but then yeah, so mountains are like much safer place to visit, like since there are like less people than in downtown. And I saw like many hikers, and they're actually wearing masks. But then, like when there were like no people, I actually like took off my mask because it was like really hard to breathe when hiking. And like the elderly people, they were actually wearing the mask. But then I don't know how they can breathe like while like really actually panting and then like going like up like, through the mountain. So yeah, those were the like when it was like really serious. Mountains were the place that I could go for a walk. So like, I had to drive with my mom. So like, but then it was worth it. Yeah.
Wow.
And this is like a few weeks ago.
Oh God, I haven't had dinner yet. You're torturing me.
Yeah, my friends, like we actually like we visited a cafe, and then I met them like in a 2 months. Like yeah, that's been like several months since I met them. So like it was really nice to meet. We went to a place called ICEHongKong, and there were like this was on March 14th. So it was not a long time ago, and there were a lot of people. Like, yeah, like pretty a lot of people like in the place. So like, actually the seats were full in the cafe, so we were kind of surprised. Then yeah, people were wearing masks, and we ordered coffee. So it seemed like on that day it seemed like a normal day, except for that people are wearing masks and then everywhere. And then we had like there are sanitizers in the cafe and restaurants, so that we can use like after like paying cash or like after like when we were going out of the cafe. So it's pretty nice to nice for them to install it in their stores. Yeah.
Sounds quite nice, actually, and reasonable.
Sounds like Hong Kong.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
that's what's me as a European. I always feel like, why can't the West get their act together and do something like this? Like for months you do nothing, and then crazy lockdowns. Whereas Hong Kong and Korea, they seem to have like policies, and all restaurants and people are very alert and are doing stuff and sanitizing.
Sounds are really sad, but then like yeah, and then I think it was pretty possible because like people were not panic buying stuff, so there were like sanitizers and like alcohol swabs still like and like there were inventories in the store, so people could buy it and then like they put it in their like restaurants or cafes. So yeah.
All right. Actually, we have one question from audience asking: so are there actually any restrictions? Are there any rules by the government what you should not or cannot do, or is it really just like up to your responsibility?
Like oh, you mean like by the government?
Yeah, like
Yes.
anything in Korea, like behavior. Is there anything that is actually not allowed? Like any restrictions?
Okay, so right now, like starting from not like last week or like few days ago, like the government, like whoever's coming from foreign countries, they have to go through a compulsory 2 weeks quarantine, and then anybody who goes out who bans who sorry yeah, anybody who doesn't keep the quarantine like the period, they are punished by the government laws. So that's kind of restriction that we have to go through. But then it doesn't count for me because I stayed in Korea like for 2 months like right now. So and other restrictions there are not quite much actually. You just have to like go through quarantine if you're coming from China or other
Got it.
foreign
Yeah.
countries.
So quarantines, but no actual restrictions on behavior as a Korean. Wow.
No, because yeah,
I think this will
yeah,
surprise a lot of
actually-
countries who are like super big on like mandatory social isolation.
Oh yes, like lockdowns and stuff, right?
Yeah.
No, on a side note, I don't think we have any measure that are like enforced by the government on the Koreans itself, except when like you're a shop owner and you're like one of the confirmed cases haven't happened in the shop or had been in close contact with the
Oh
patient.
yeah.
You have to shut down the shops, but that's about it.
So more on the business side, but not like on individuals.
No,
right?
no, not on the public.
There's something
Yeah, I
interesting.
think-
Sorry, Christy.
Oh, sorry. So like the one thing that government does is that like so like imagine that I'm a patient and then like I was like diagnosed with coronavirus, and the government like tracks my routes and texts people like when like where I went like from the morning to the night like
Wow.
the whole days. Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's a lot
I think
of
that's a good
tracking.
thing that we
Yeah,
can stay
tracking,
alert.
but like more tracking, but less rules. It's an interesting approach.
Yes. So speaking about tracking, all right. Let's move over to GJ for now.
Yeah. Is the sharing? Is that the last picture of the sharing, or is there anything else?
I'll just go
Oh yeah,
briefly.
sorry. Yes. Okay.
Ooh,
I just
what's
went
this?
like on bicycle. I just rode bicycles on that day, like in front of Hangang, and there were quite a lot of people there. As you can see, you can see like the little boy and his dad like riding the what do you call it, the roller skates. Yeah, and yeah, people were on a picnic, and they were the people in their picture aren't actually wearing masks, or they're not wearing masks. So, yeah. So this is the Hangang took the picture that I took 1 week ago. And should I talk about this right now or later?
Oh yes. Okay. What is this?
Should I talk about it now?
Yeah, sure. I mean, what happened is that we talked with Christy, and then she mentioned that there's a very special system of how you can buy masks to prevent all this overloading on or this panic buying of masks. So maybe, Christy, can you share with us?
Sure. So like you remember, like I told you, like when I said about the 31st patient who went like all around the Daegu, and like the patients like really like increased from that day. Like after that day, like people like were like all buying masks, and then like the government, like the country was actually running out of masks. So the government like made a rule that it's called like 5-day routine. So every person can buy a 5-day rotation system. As you can see, like the number of masks that each person can buy is limited to 2 masks. And it depends on your like the number of your birth year. So like when your birth year ends with 1 or 6, you can buy it on Monday, and with 2 and 7, you can buy it on Tuesday. So like I was born in like 1999, so my birth year ends with 9, right? So I can buy it on Thursday because it ends with 9. It's kind of simple though. So I can buy 2 masks on that day. So yeah, the government made that regulation starting from like 3 weeks ago. So people were able to buy masks like barely. So
does that apply to any kind of small shop that check your ID for your birthday, or is it only if like you buy masks directly from a government supply or something?
Oh, it works for every pharmacies. So when you give them your like ID card, they can check it, and then
So it's almost like buying alcohol, right? I want to buy a mask. Can I see your ID?
Today you're
yeah, like
allowed
alcohol.
to buy.
Interesting.
then,
Well, it's a control item.
All right.
There was something I wanted to say, but I'll tell it. Like I'll tell you when I remember later. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So that's Christy, who's currently in Seoul, talking about a bit about the current situation now, and also about this very interesting mask system. I mean, if we are here in Hong Kong, maybe you can think about whether this system is appropriate for us. If you are in any other countries, do you think this will work in your country? Share with us your opinion on the live chat, or if you have any questions, please ask us on the live chat as well. But now, we're talking about like tracking, right?
Ooh.
And then GJ 3 weeks ago came back from Korea to Hong Kong, right? So maybe GJ, can you share with us about your experience? You've been through the entire quarantine process in Hong Kong.
Yeah, traveling in the craziest possible time, right?
Yes.
When everything
From
was like, oh my
Korea
god, you're
to Hong
traveling.
Kong.
Okay, let's put you into quarantine. How was it?
Okay, so I'll share a little. I'll actually share my screen to show you the thing.
Sorry, Kyungju, can you speak a bit louder?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
better. Keep the
perfect.
microphone close to your mouth.
Sure, I'll do that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how what I had to go through.
Yes. So in the meantime, while she's getting ready for the sharing of the screen, just a little bit of a background. If you are here, if you just join us, Christy and Gyeongju are here with us. Okay, Christy is now in Seoul, and Gyeongju has happened to be back in Korea. No, Hong Kong again. I keep mixing up Hong
you're
Kong
not
and
sick.
Korea. Oh.
Okay, so we see it now on the screen. So maybe Kyungju, do you want to explain your experience with those pictures?
All right. Oh my God. So it was taken 3 weeks ago. That's the Incheon Airport in Seoul. And Incheon Airport, you can it's one of the biggest airports in the world, and they have at least 1,000 inbound and outbound flights every day. But as you can see from the panels here, these were the only flights that were flying out and in on the day that I went to the airport. And because I think it was during the peak season where the Korea has a lot of confirmed cases during that time. Also, a lot of direct flights were canceled. So for example, in my case, I had to take a transfer flight from Taipei, and I had a 9 hours layover period in Taipei, and then came to Hong Kong by taking another 1 hour flight. So it was a long journey. Everyone seemed really stressful at the airport. And yeah, even like on the plane itself, they didn't serve us any food. They gave us bread and butter and like a packet of milk in some paper bag, so they avoid any type of contact with the passengers on the plane. So it was probably the most stressful flight journey I've ever taken. So yeah, I came to Hong Kong, And on the left side, that's the kind of the bracelet that I have to wear all the time throughout my 2 weeks quarantine. I know.
I think that's a great souvenir for the future, right? Like
I still have it. Yeah, I'm keeping
worn
them.
this.
So what this bracelet does is you get assigned your customized QR code. And what surprised me was that when you arrive at your quarantine place, you have to scan the QR code with this app that's gonna be installed on your smartphone, and then you turn on obviously the location function, and you have to walk around your house for like 2 times. So that's how I send my location to the government, and government has a visualization application to map out my location. So apparently how it works is that when I step out of my location map, something's gonna alert the government and they're gonna come inspect me. It was really surprising. Yeah, well, like what a technology. So one more interesting is that bracelet is waterproof, so you can shower with it. Oh, I know. And yeah, I'm definitely keeping it.
But I guess you have to, right? And you have to sleep with it as well?
Yeah, you have to wear it for the entire 2 weeks quarantine.
But it didn't start itching or anything, right?
I'm sorry?
It did not start itching or something, right?
No, surprisingly, no.
Did you forget at some
annoying,
point?
But
Like, can you get so used to it you just forget you wear it?
well,
Oh no.
it's kind of annoying. It's there. You can feel it. It's there, but like it doesn't like affect me from doing everyday activities. So it was all right.
We have one audience question asking, did you sneak out? But I guess you don't have to answer this now.
You're on live.
My answer is no. Don't worry. I'm a responsible citizen.
Oh, that's good. So Peter, you got your answer.
Okay, so on the right is the kind of package that you get from the government once you leave the airport. So the document pack has all the information that you need for the instructions for the home quarantine, and it also has some kind of health monitoring checklist. So you have to like record your everyday health status about your temperature. You have to measure twice a day, and whether you are coughing or you have a fever or you have any stomach ache, and you have to sign every day to prove that I've written it every day with all my honesty. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm gonna share with you a little on my quarantine journey. By the way, my pictures that are gonna be followed from now, I just kept it on my Snapchat record, so I don't think they're as presentable as Christy's presentation. But I hope you enjoy it. So this was taken on my first day of quarantine. Like I just came back from Taipei after 9 hours layover, and then it was crazy. I was confused and I didn't know what to do. I didn't have any idea what's gonna happen to me in the next 14 days. So, and this was taken on day 3. It's so at my quarantine place, there's a washing machine, but it broke on my 3rd day. So I started washing all my clothes for the rest of my quarantine.
Wow, bad time to get to break down.
Yeah. The thing is, I can't
coincidence.
go out to get a new, washing machine or to go to the coin laundry shop. Nor cannot like call the repairman to come into my quarantine place because that's against the law as well. So yeah, I felt like I traveled back in time, doing everything by myself. Cooking, washing clothes, and like cleaning every day. And the next is like the progress, and you can see from here that I've always been doing the same thing at the same spot for the 14 days. So on day 6 on the left it says, so happy to be attending live lectures for getting a hint of human beings. So that was my first time talking to people like on live session during my quarantine. So it was my first time being so happy to see my professor's face.
All right. We have a question from your high school friend, apparently.
Oh, yeah?
TK, asking, how did you get food or groceries during your quarantine time?
Oh, good question. So before I left Korea, I had my own like 14-day survival kit. So I got
Survival kit.
Wow.
I brought 2 pieces of big suitcases full of frozen food, instant microwavable food, rice, instant noodles, and like things that I can just boil and eat right away, and canned food. You know, I got really sick of it after the 2 weeks. And I'm not eating them anymore.
2 weeks without buying anything fresh.
Yeah, oh my God. You know, like one key takeaway of quarantine is that you should really start appreciating your vegetables, your fresh fruits, and all the food that you can get from grocery shops.
That's a good learning.
Oh my God. But I'm curious, so the government didn't give you any, let's say you didn't bring your survival kit. The government didn't give you any hints if you say, let's say you don't know anyone in Hong Kong who could give you food, you forgot to bring your food. Did they let you starve, or are there some exceptions? Do you know anything about this?
Oh, okay, so for quarantine, you can either choose to go to the government camp where all the meals are provided, or you can choose to do self-quarantine.
Okay, got it. So if you don't have food, you have to go to the government facility.
Not necessarily. Okay, so you know the app that I talked about before? So the one you have to download on your smartphone? So there's this function where you can press for different needs. So for you, if you're out of food, you can press this button, I need help. So they're going to call you. And they're going to ask you what's wrong. And you tell them you're out of food. So they're going to start delivering food, I think. I think that's how it works.
I guess that's a bit awkward.
That reminds me. Reminds me of an elderly patient. You know, there's you fall down and then you have to press a button and people will come and help you. Yeah.
All right. I think. Do you have anything else to show, or should we go back to questions?
Oh yeah. Do you have any more questions?
Okay, then maybe let's see. Let's get some questions. So we have a question from our other fellow Korean,
Minju.
Minju is asking, why did you actually go back to Hong Kong? Why didn't you stay in Korea?
I get that a lot. So as I briefly introduced myself during the brief introduction, I don't really live in Korea. So my parents are like in a third country where it's like not exactly. I don't feel home there, and I don't really feel home in Korea too. So I needed to come back to Hong Kong because that's where I most felt comfortable. So, yeah, so it's like a third culture kid thing, I think.
So Hong Kong is your home in a way.
I feel really comfortable in Hong Kong.
Okay. So let's what we're gonna do now. Let's take some. Let's go back to the to Christy and both Christy and Kyungju, and then we'll get some questions for you guys to answer.
All right.
Okay. Yes. So first off the bat, for myself, I'm very interested because I'm of current affairs. So we all know that elections, just
politics
coming up here. But what I'm very confused is, what are you guys voting on right now? Is it a president or what exactly is it that you're voting on? Maybe Christy can give a...
Or anyone, what's happening right now with the elections?
It's like we're voting... Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, it's like we're voting for members of Congress. So...
What does that mean?
You know, like not Korea, like Seoul is divided into districts. And we're kind of like... electing members, like the representative of that district. So yeah.
So it's a bit like district council, something like that.
District council, yeah.
So voting for people to go into parliament.
Or at least a district parliament or something. Okay.
Yes.
And is it happening soon or has it happened?
Oh, we already voted last Saturday. So it's kind of like the first vote that, like, for the people who can't vote on the actual day, which is on the 15th, this Wednesday. Yeah.
So early voting, right? This kind of
only voting.
And was it like, because of the coronavirus, was it a bit like political? Did it affect the vote? Because we heard in France when we talked to Ben that they were like trying to have elections for political reasons despite the coronavirus happening, and then they were arguing. Was it a political issue or was it kind of independent?
Like what's the political issue?
Like the voting and the coronavirus, did the virus affect the voting?
No, actually not really, because on Saturday I met my friend and I was gonna vote first and then go, but then like the line was like so long. It was like tremendously long. So I just like went out of the line and then went directly to the station and decided to vote on the 15th. So yeah. The line was really long. Like there were like the news actually like they reported that like over like 24%. I'm not sure about like over like 10,000. No, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so Minju just clarified again. So it's parliamentary elections, And yeah, it's been planned for years, so it's like pretty standard.
We have a third Korean here to help you guys out. If, yes.
Okay. By the way, anyone can ask questions in YouTube, and even let's say if you're a Hong Kong student who doesn't really know how to phrase it in English, you can even ask in Chinese if you want. We will still try our best to relay the question and ask. Okay, feel free to ask any question you're interested if you're watching this. Yes. Even in German, I can try to translate.
For your mom, right?
Yes, because I don't understand English.
So I think what the mom was saying is on the news again. We have heard that in Korea there were like 91 cases where people who recovered were tested positive again. Was there any of those? How's the reaction like from the everyday Koreans?
It's kind of reinfection, right?
Yeah. Was it big on the news? Or maybe for GJ, if you know anything, or Christy,
any of you?
Well, personally, because I don't have like access to like the wider Korean population now, I didn't get to hear much about it. But on the news itself, I don't think it was too big of an issue, wasn't it, Christy?
I don't think so too.
Yeah.
But my mom was like she saw the news, and she was like, "Oh, careful, Christy! Like, yeah, don't go out." But then like she just freaked out though. Like my mom's kind of like sensitive, so I think that's kind of like.
So your mom tries to prevent you from going out.
Yes.
I see. All right. So also for maybe for GJs now, all right. The question will be: you've been through quarantine for 14 days. How's your mental state now? How do you feel?
I think Jay's asking, "Are you okay?"
We are concerned for you.
Really, thank you. I appreciate your concern. But I'm perfectly fine. I think mainly because a lot of like university lectures and a lot of hangouts have turned into Zoom already. So I didn't feel like I was like the only one going through that. Also because a lot of my friends are overseas already. Like they're in Europe, they're in India, Sri Lanka, where they're going through a countrywide lockdown. So I felt like I wasn't doing it by myself, but with all my friends. And I had that hope that after 14 days, because I was in Hong Kong, I can always get out to get more fruits and more vegetables. So it was something that I really look forward to. And if you're asking about my current mental status, I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Okay, that's good to hear. All right. So one question from the audience. So I think this is for both Christy and GJ. Would be, what's the most stock food?
For you or for Korean?
For you, let's say for you. What do you have the most at home for food items?
Are you expecting kimchi? If we're expecting kimchi,
that is
my
so
answer's gonna
cliche
be no.
Korean.
Yeah, kimchi.
I'm not stereotyping.
No, but I heard that Koreans even have fridges just for kimchi. It's like, that's correct, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's like our everyday life, not for Corona.
My family has that though.
Well, I mean, we already talked about Italy and pasta, so why not Korea and kimchi, right?
So what would be your most stock food then? If it's not
like
kimchi.
Except for kimchi.
Okay, except for kimchi. Would it be like instant ramen, or would it be meat, or what?
Rice or what?
Yeah.
Rice or ramen.
Rice or ramen. Okay, and GJ? I mean, you have your whole luggage.
Yeah, in my luggage, what I had most was those microwavable rice.
So I guess right now you're sick of that, right?
I'm very sick of it. I don't eat rice.
So actually, I'm curious, what did you eat immediately after the quarantine finished?
Oh, I went to have some Sichuan Chinese noodles.
That's what you're craving. I thought like fresh fruit, but okay.
You need the spice. The spice in your life.
Yes.
Oh, for me, my mom packs me like side dishes that like are kind of like like the side dishes that last for like 1 month if you put it in the fridge, so I can eat with rice. But eventually get tired of it like every time I eat it. So yeah, that's another thing in my fridge.
We get some more comments from Minju, our unofficial Korean guest here, who's been with us for every single live stream so far, and saying, yeah, definitely kimchi fridge is very useful. Her grandmother's favorite kitchen material. So yeah, it's not just a cliche. And in fact, I'd really be curious to talk more about Minju. So hopefully for the second season, if she would like to, love to also talk to her a little bit. But okay.
We have I have another question. I asked a lot of the other guests as well. Will be this big national exam, right? I just read on the news again that it's called Sunyum. How do you even Sunim? And I believe it's comparable to like the Chinese national exam, you know, like Gaokao, this kind of thing. But it's very stressful, and also we know that there's a cram school is very popular in Korea.
Yeah, so the whole education system is very intense, for lack of a better word. At least that's what I heard. Maybe some of you. I think I even heard from some Koreans that in this national exam, it's so important that at that time, like, the sound gets minimized in the city and that airplanes don't fly overhead so people can focus, or something like this, right? Is that roughly correct?
And yes, so my question would be that do you guys know of any like people like around you who have been who are very stressed from the exams? You know, how has this situation affected the students who are taking this exam, this big exam right now, or like how are cram schools dealing with this?
So basically,
situation?
How is education affected?
Yes.
Essentially, is the big entrance exam being postponed?
Oh, it is postponed actually. Like,
Oh,
for
they
1 month.
postponed it. Okay.
Yeah. Like, so it's usually held on like mid-November, but then I heard that it's postponed to like 9th of December. So yeah.
Wait, it's in November, so it's still so far away, and they're already postponing it. Wow, that is crazy. Wow, I don't think that would happen in Hong Kong or in Germany.
Oh wow!
I think
So
one of the
many months
reasons is
because
also,
right
like,
now the students fail to focus, or something. Or oh, sorry.
Sorry, you can go on.
No, please go on, GJ. Yeah,
No, I was gonna
the
say
guest, yeah.
that Korean schools, like public schools, have been turned online because they were supposed to restart in on the 2nd of March or something. And
Yeah.
that's a really big issue in Korea, you know. It's not like in Hong Kong where when schools turn online, they just accept it and go Zoom. In Korea, we're like, oh my God, we're not getting the same quality of education. No way.
Oh wow. Okay, Hong Kongers, if any Hong Kong here is like about to do DSE, a Korean told you, it's not like Hong Kong. Yeah, we really care about education.
Oh, I found a really crazy thing. So like the student, he made a macro that like that makes the computer automatically like join the class and like quit the class, like, and he can play the game like like during that time, like. So yeah.
Sorry, can you
Do you get
repeat
it?
again?
I think the audio, the quality just dropped. Can you repeat the
So like one student, he made a macro that makes his computer like join the class like automatically.
Okay, so a macro for those of sorry, can I quickly interrupt? A macro for those of you who don't know is like a script that simulates like keystrokes on a computer. So something that can automate. So you don't have to press anything, but the computer thinks a person is doing stuff. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to explain that. Continue.
Yeah, so like that he like because he doesn't want to like join the class. So yeah, that's kind of a problem. But then I found it kind of funny. Like I was like when I read the news, I was like, oh, like does he not want to join the class like that much, like so that he can make a macro and stuff. So yeah.
So he actually put in effort to make a macro to join the classes.
Join the class
automatically.
Not joining the class.
Yeah. But he doesn't want to join the class.
Yeah, it's kind of hilarious. Yeah.
So it's a bit like a lot of these new creative ideas coming up because of this situation. And like what GJ said, you know, like the attitude of the Korean students, it reminds me a bit about Singapore. You know, when we have a lockdown and everyone was complaining, whoa, what am I gonna do with my kids? So it's very similar.
Yeah, actually, in Germany there was a big debate about the national exam, which actually happens in like April, May or so. And then some people suggested, let's just have like average grades for everyone instead of just canceling the exam and then everyone getting average grade. But a lot of people complain this may be unfair to the batch before and after. But people are seriously considering it.
Yeah. So we're gonna ask just for last few questions. So if you guys on YouTube have any burning questions, please write it in right now.
In any language that any of us can understand.
Yes, from one of the audience half an hour ago, I missed on this. Would be maybe both for Christy and Gyeongju as well. Like, are Koreans tired of taking precaution? Because people in Hong Kong are tired of precaution and they just want to take off their masks and go to crowded places.
I'll say yes to that because, like, I see many people right now actually out in the streets. They are wearing masks, but then like in the cafes or like inside places, they're kind of not wearing masks. So, yeah, it has become more lenient because it's not like enforced by the laws or anything.
So people are becoming more relaxed.
Relaxed.
Yeah. And that might not be a good idea.
I think it's because like it's kind of like 30-ish patients like now on, but then like if people like gets more relaxed and like if one person gets the virus and like spread it like all around the city, like it gets like really worse then. So.
I have another question because we also talked about this before in Italy and France and in other countries. Like, is there anything about like it's a family or parents or generally generations that sometimes the grandparents are stubborn and they want to go outside and the young people have to remind them to stay inside? In other countries, maybe the parents are the super careful one and don't allow their kids to go out. Is there any like pattern in Korea? Is there like who are the really extremely concerned or careful ones? Are there certain people who just don't care as much? Like, what does it look like?
Oh my god, my grandma just freaks out about the virus. She's like, please don't go out. You have rice and kimchi at home. Why would you go out?
Wow, that's actually a cool grandmother in this sense. Like, she should talk to Italian grandmothers based on our conversation with Dario from Italy.
I think generally older people are more concerned.
And then they also behave, like they stick to the precautions.
Yeah, well...
That's actually cool. Role model Korean grandparents.
Would you say the same thing, Christy?
Yeah, my mom's really concerned about the virus. So she's like, oh, don't go out. Like go like 5 meters away from your apartment. Like,
oh.
Then I went out.
So it's the younger people who wants to go out, right, to cafes and everything like that.
But it seems like you are disciplined, right?
Yes, I wear masks.
But are there any people who are not disciplined? Is it only foreigners, or are you say actually pretty much all Koreans are really good at sticking to everything?
Like our Koreans are good at what?
Like sticking to the precautions. Are there any irresponsible people?
I saw like really few people. There was like many like what do you call it? When you see the subway, like the train, there are many like boxes. Sorry,
carriages.
Like
carriages.
Yeah, the carriages. I saw like 2 or 3 people like per carriage, like who were not wearing masks. So they are kind of one of the irresponsible people in the city. Yeah.
Do you have the same situation where if someone cough and then they just run away?
Yeah, you can't like cough like really loudly in the street because like people will like stare at you.
All right. I think we are going to finish.
Yes, so maybe my final question to you guys, to both of you, to end on a positive note.
Jay always wants to end on a positive note, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah, so. But of course, if people in the audience, if you have any questions, please feel free to put on the live chat. But my question would be that when all this thing, the coronavirus situation gets better, we know that Hong Kongers love to go to Korea for traveling, right? And then there was a lot of K-pop, K-dramas and stuff. As Korean, if there's one place or one thing to do in Korea, what would that be? What would you recommend to foreigners when everything is over, they want to come to Korea? Maybe GJ first?
It depends on when the coronavirus is going to end. So if you give me a brief estimation of the period, then I can give you.
Let's just say next year, okay? In 1 year.
Mm.
I think I would say you should go for the cherry blossom sightseeing. Because I think this is the season for cherry blossoms in
Oh.
Korea right now. So there's a
So-
lot of really beautiful flowers and a lot of
Interesting.
really good sceneries to view. And I know like a lot of Hong Kongers go to Korea maybe during summer or winter when the weather is really extremely hot or extremely cold.
I went there once in winter as well. Okay.
But spring is a really good season to visit Korea, really. And there's a lot of good food that you can try out too, only in
Oh.
spring.
I think many Hong Kongers also love the food. So cherry blossom. So you want to steal tourism away from Japan. That's as I can see it.
That's also one point. Yeah.
All
Fair
right.
point. People don't know that. A lot of people might not know that Korea has also cherry blossom.
Yeah.
And GJ also said that there's seasonal food, right? There's a food that that only you have. They can only have during this time. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And Christy, anything from your side?
I may recommend like visiting like not only Seoul but then also like Busan or like Jeju Island, like where people like foreigners may not know much about it, and other places such as like there's a city called a place called Jeollado, and their food like is like awesome. So maybe like you should try that and see like the flowers like Hyungju said, and the seasonal fruits. Yeah, I recommend food tour, like going around like really famous like
tour.
places. Yeah.
Reminds me of Hotel de Luna, but anyway. Yeah. So food tour. So food, cherry blossoms. These are the things that both Christy and GJ will recommend to our other non-Korean friends. If you ever visit Korea, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
So let's pray and hope that the coronavirus will be over soon, so we can all travel and learn about different cultures, and if you're interested in Korea, to go to Korea.
Absolutely. Can I also ask my last question? I always ask the same question to all the guests. Not all of you have to answer, just if there's something you want to say. Both of you have been in Hong Kong a lot. You talk to Hong Kong students, Hong Kong university students, Hong Kong secondary school students. And I'm sure when you say you're from Korea, you get kind of similar reactions. So is there anything you feel like you want Hong Kongers in particular to understand about Korea that maybe they don't know immediately, or that it doesn't come to their mind, but you think, please, you should also know this about Korea. Is there anything you want to just say to Hong Kongers that Korea is also about something?
Not just Hong Kong, but maybe the world.
Yeah, because I think right now most people see Korea through the lens of Korean culture, as in K-pop and K-drama. Is there anything else that you want people to know about Korea?
Oh, I have one maybe like aside from like really like dramas or like movies and like songs, like we really have a long history like over like 5,000 years. So like there are like many places that people can experience like housings and like clothes and then like food. So maybe it's really great if they visit Korea and like experience by themselves like about the culture and like traditions of Korea. So
I see. Yeah, because history is often not exactly the focus in K-drama or K-pop. So yeah, history. Cool. Thanks.
Heritage. Yes. GJ, any?
Well, I completely agree with what Christy said. So from my experiences in ICE, where I visited like a lot of secondary students, I just wanted to remind them Korea is not just about K-pop, and Korea is not just about Seoul. There's so many more than Seoul and just K-pop.
All right. Yep.
Okay, yes. So that's something that we will. It's very worth learning, right? Not just K-pop, not just Seoul. Get out there. There's so many other cities.
Absolutely. And we
Yes.
have people who are happy to share. So if anyone else has any more questions about Korea, you want to clarify anyone, just write it in the comments even after this live is over. The video is up. You can still write stuff. You can message us, #ICEHongKong, and we will ask our lovely Korean guests whether they are happy to answer any more questions in the future. So please don't hesitate. Ask questions. And with this, I think we have to say goodbye.
Yes, and if this is the first time here, for example, the friend of GJ, please like us on Facebook, ICE Hong Kong, or follow us on Instagram, Intercultural Education. Remember to keep subscribing to our YouTube channel, and every Thursday, Monday and Thursday, we'll be having this straight crosstalk. Yes, and if you ever have any ideas what you want to know about other countries, please feel free to let us know as well. Okay.
All right. Should we say goodbye? Usually we say goodbye in the language of the guest. So in Korea, I only know 안녕. How do you say goodbye?
Sarang.
안녕.
What's the best way of saying goodbye?
안녕.
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 Just 안녕.
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 Okay, 안녕.
Okay.
Goodbye.
감사합니다.
Goodbye. Thanks for inviting us.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.
And for the rest, don't forget to like us, hashtag ICEHongKong, and see you next time, Crosstalk. On Thursday, we're going to do Taiwan.
Taiwan.
So 2 ladies from Taiwan will talk to us about the situation over there. So join us and goodbye.